Hi and welcome. This is Archana here with Divine Soul Resonance, welcoming each one of you to my channel with all my love and all my heart. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, I welcome you. And to all my beautiful returning and existing subscribers, thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate it. So in today's reading, what I'm bringing forth are messages to see what is it that you are ready to begin in your life right now. There's been a journey, there's been a completion, and there is hope and inspiration. Wanting to start a new journey about something in life. It could be in a relationship. It could be within the self. It could be a new job, a new career path altogether. It could be a family. Something in your life that you are ready to start. There's hope, there's optimism, there's trust. Fool's Journey. We are beginning our journey at the beginning, the number 0, which holds a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential. Anything's possible. With that hope, you're looking up to divine, with the sun shining upon you, with brimming with optimism and enthusiasm. You trust your spiritual journey. You trust, you understand, and you're ready to take a leap of faith. What is this leap of faith? Let's have a look. What are you ready to begin as a new cycle in your life? What are you ready to begin? What are the collective ready to begin? Saturn, organizer. What are you ready to begin? Animals. Leadership. What are you ready to begin? What are you ready to begin? Non-attachment. What are you ready to begin? Empowerment. I'm going to get the tarot messages first, then we'll begin. What are the people ready to begin in their life, in this fool's journey, starting the new cycle? 2 of Cups. What are the people ready to begin? 4 of Swords. The Hermit. What are the people ready to begin? Eight of Wands. What are the people ready to begin? Let's make some room. But the Fool shall stay there. It was what I was guided to. So we can get more messages for you. What are the people ready to begin? 2 of Swords. Feels here. 4 of Wands. What are the people ready to begin? The Devil. What are the people ready to begin as a new cycle? The Hierophant. Let's start with these first. And I'm seeing the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. As you're beginning the journey new, there are 4 crystals that are surrounding the Fool. I chose them as I was guided to right now. The red jasper here to ground something. As a Fool starts the journey with hope and optimism in his or her heart, you're coming down from the spiritual realm. You've climbed a lot of mountains. You've gone through a lot of challenges and difficulties. You've had to find that inner courage and inner strength to find and connect with your spiritual self, to continue to trust in the benevolence of life, goodness of life, to be in the innocent space where you are all trusting the divine, trusting everything that unfolds. So you're looking up, not where you're going to be stepping down. This energy is here to remind the Fool that things must be materialized, solidified. The journey will have its ups and downs. There's something that we must strengthen and put our foot upon. Red jasper, energy of materialization. What the Fool is bringing is the purity of the spirit. There is amethyst, bringing in clarity, bringing in spiritual connection, continuing on the spiritual quest, and remembering that as a full embodiment in this physical body, that you are taking this spiritual self. You are taking the spiritual self is embodied in this physical body. So you have the spiritual connection with you all the time. Citrine, to look forward to. Citrine, another energy for manifestation. Hope, optimism, positivity, strength. Looking forward with optimism, looking forward to grow, looking forward to new experiences. The crown, clear quartz, clear mind, clarity of heart, clarity of thought, purity of spirit, ultimate connection to the divine source. What you're ready to step into is being committed. Being committed is starting a journey on commitment. A commitment to the self, a commitment to being systematic. You have the utter trust and knowledge, and you're going with that utter trust and knowledge, trusting that you'll be guided every step of the way, that you'll be taking the steps, not foolishly, that any time you fall, you're going to learn that lesson and climb back up again. That is me as a fool's journey. There's something that you're going to be committed to and making a commitment towards. It could be a person, it could be a job. You could be starting a relationship, you could be starting a family, you could be proposing to someone. A commitment to the spiritual self, that this is going to be my spiritual practice, this is what I am going to begin, these are the steps that I shall be taking for myself. So very disciplined. It would feel like, wow, how can that be it? The Fool seems like I have no baggage and I'm just like free flowing. Yes, but from this energy of zero, from this all and nothingness, okay? So you are here, you have learned some lessons, and that's why your journey is starting again. You have completed. Before this comes the world card, okay? So we start the journey with the 0 and end with the world card, which is card number 21. You have already learned some big lessons, and that's why you're ready to start afresh. And this time around, you're not ready to rush. You're not going to rush through things. You're not going to go, you've learned some lessons, right? Saturn teaches you lessons. So this time around, what you're drawing from the infinite pool is you're going to surprise yourself that I'm so organized. I'm organized about my thoughts. I'm organized about what I'm going to be doing. You're going to have a plan of action, and it's not the plan of, it doesn't mean that the Saturn doesn't say dream big. Saturn says dream big. Yes, dream big. Have faith. Everything will grow, but do it the right way. Did you actually take into consideration other things? So this time around, what you're beginning in a new cycle is you may be looking back at some of the things that you had done that you started, but the projects didn't go completely well, you're going to kind of revise those plans. You're going to look at, what did I miss? I must have missed some things. So I see you sifting through some old plans. Doesn't mean like old from like forever ago, but there are things on your project list. There were things on your to-do list. There were things that you had set out as your goals and dreams. And now you're kind of revisiting them and clarifying and saying, okay, you know what? These were the things and situations that I didn't keep into consideration, and I'm ready to reconsider them now and apply them in my totality of what I want to achieve. Okay, that's one. What you're pulling from this pool of infinite pool is, I feel some of you, first, discipline is a very big word. You're pulling out to start a disciplined life. Okay, a more disciplined, a little bit more structured. Perhaps you've been unstructured. Perhaps you've you've had that experience. So we're not going to go back into the past. This is where you're beginning a cycle new. There's some learnings you've had with a certain way of being. It was a beautiful way of being, or so every experience is a learning experience. So you've learned some things from there. Your soul is wishing to learn another aspect or another storyline. So this is where you are. I'm seeing discipline. I'm seeing you become more practical. Perhaps in the past, you went just with ideas and just like, oh, these are wonderful dreams, and you're very visionary. You have the heart in the right place, but yet your foot was not on the ground on what is it? What are the steps I need to do? What are the steps I need to take? I need to take into consideration other people. Okay, how am I going to build with other people? Okay, what is it that other people have as talent, and how are we pooling the talents together? How are we building with others? How can I nurture myself and others? How can I set certain boundaries for myself? Okay, how do I deal with competition? How do I deal with conflict? Okay, how do I deal about bringing things back? What are some of my battles between the heart and the mind? So you're learning a lot of different aspects which feel like they're polar, but you're now learning to integrate them and saying, okay, I'm going to be needing to hone in on this aspect of me, which had perhaps been weak before or dormant. Okay, let's just leave it at dormant or weak, whatever your situation may be. Now, I feel, for those who are tuning in into this particular reading, in this particular moment in time, the key thing that you're pulling in from that infinite pool that you're ready to begin is a discipline. A disciplined approach and a self-discipline about the things that you want to achieve, and what is it that's going to require for you to persevere on this journey. And not perhaps in the past you kind of quit after some time. The going got tough, or there was a lot of conflict that took place. You went down some meandering paths that took you down to some dead ends, and now you've learned the lesson. And this time around, you're developing the virtue of patience. This time around, I see you being more reliable, that people are going to be able to rely on you. It's not going to be the wishy-washy, indecisive energy. I see you not being shrouded and clouded and kind of running away from decision making. You're going to be very truthful. I see you, because there are a lot of element of air that has come up. We've got here also the Four of Swords here, and we have the Devil energy here. So what this is already speaking of is that you're going to recognize that, yes, I may have temptations to fall back to an old pattern. Perhaps in the past there were these temptations that you gave into, okay? So now you're learning that you're ready to start a new cycle, okay? You might have been in a cycle of the past where, with this Four of Swords, I feel like you really don't want to take any action. I'm not going to think about anything, and if I don't think about it, the situation will just kind of be okay on its own, okay? You tried that. You had certain experiences with that. There were certain limitations, there were certain drawbacks, and there were certain learnings. Okay, with the Hierophant here and the Hermit here, it's really feeling like you're here at this stage of the Fool because you've really taken an inward journey. You've really looked at the two different aspects. Okay, you've looked at your life, okay, your emotional journey, okay, where it has been, what it has led to. You've gained a lot of wisdom. You've gained a lot of clarity. You've gained a lot of experience. You've gained a lot of learning. And with this learning, do you see both of these, the Fool and the Devil? Both of them are looking back a little bit, right? So what's behind over here in the devil's energy would be that energy of lack, or a lack of commitment, a lack of focus, a lack of being untrue, being untrue. Okay, so being untruthful, being dishonest, okay, being inconsistent, being wishy-washy, okay, being very frivolous, okay, being very impatient. Okay, so not being systematic, just going about things haywire. Okay, that might have been in the past energy. Okay, these are the past energy. Over here, it is their lessons that I've learned. Every time I've fallen back, every time I've gone into that temptation, every time I've fallen into this aspect, I've learned the lesson. So now the fool, in his or her little purse, in a little bag, is carrying this wisdom that you have gained from these past experiences. Okay. There's a lot of wisdom that you have gained. There's the Hierophant with this inner work and inner reflection on these behaviors, these choices, and these situations that have manifested in your life. Right. Now you're reaching at a point of, I'm detaching myself, non-attachment. Now you're looking at all of these as a third party, like you're looking at a movie. Okay, so that's not me. You're projecting yourself onto the movie and watching this character, this full character. We had gone through all these things before, and now as you're evaluating and looking from it, and that's why you're here right now, is that you're looking at things from a non-attached perspective. I am certain that I will reach my goal while letting go of how it will happen. Perhaps in the past, you were too attached to how the outcome will happen, when the outcome will happen. I have put in the time. It's unfair. Why does someone else get this and I don't get it? All those are learnings and lessons of the past. Non-attachment is a journey that you're beginning now. So the pitfall of that was the foolishness, or where you kind of just allowed whatever, wherever. Now your soul has learned that lesson, has learned what that energy has understood that terrain, and now you're at this place of non-attachment. Okay, so you're looking forward. What you're birthing from here is going to be this new organized person. Okay, this is going to be someone, people are going to say, who is this person who's so patient? I mean, they're so practical. They're truthful, honest, but not brutal. Okay, they're committed like they were not committed before. Look at them being committed to a goal, committed to helping another, whatever that commitment may be. It could be, hey, we're meeting up for dinner and I'm going to bring this for the potluck. And before, perhaps you may have just completely not shown up and somebody was relying on you, but you didn't bring that. You're supposed to bring the main dish, but you didn't. Now there's this other change that people are going to begin to trust you because they can rely on you. They can rely on your support. And I also feel the new cycle is going to bring in support. It's going to bring in people who are very systematic, who are organized. So, like attracts like. You're going to be inspired by them. And as you're inspired by them, you're going to be able to take in, oh, I like that. I think I can start this. Hey, did you know that there's this organizer app and you could do this and you could track this? Oh, I didn't know about this. Okay, that will help you to keep track of this, and that way you can get, things done. So it could be small little steps, and these small little steps help you to be more systematic about your approach. And you begin to see that with taking these practical steps, these small little nuggets of taking these practical steps will yield to something very big. Because look what's opening up for you. Leadership. What you're ready to now step into is stepping into power. Leadership is a person of authority and power, and here is empowerment. I recognize and appreciate all that inspires me to feel empowered. Okay, that's what this empowerment energy is. You're magnetizing empowerment. You're magnetizing leaders. So people, when you're magnetizing leaders, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is they're people who have got through some challenges and have, some practical tools that they applied. Like, for instance, if someone asks me, Archana, if I'm to start this, what would be a good starting point? Now, rather than me, I'm not going to be telling you things that I've read in the book, but it's something that I have experienced myself and what I have gone through, and that these were the steps that I took, right? So I'm going to be giving you practical approach that I personally have undertaken. So that's what I'm talking about, is those are the type of leaders who are going to be coming to you. And as you're attracting and magnetizing this in this new cycle, okay, this is the zero. You're pulling this energy. You're starting this new cycle when you become more organized. You're not looking at the past and living in the past. You are actually harnessing the power of the past. You're harnessing all that you have learned from perhaps all the things that I mentioned up here, right? Now you're saying, okay, I got it. I got that lesson. Now let me bring all of that in and integrate it. Now with this pushes you into a strong leadership position. Okay, what you're now ready to experience and begin is also a big process of communication. So some of you, you will be communicating in leadership. So perhaps places you may suddenly get calls, suddenly you'll feel like everything's aligned. This is the 8 of Wands. Everything's in alignment. Stars seem to be aligning. Hey, this is so synchronistic. I was, at this particular place, and I was searching for this book, and I didn't know that the author is there. I'm just giving you such a random example. What were the odds that you're going to be in that same place at the same time? So there is that connect. There is the spiritual connect that's taking place, right? Because you are trusting. You're trusting that everything is going to open up in divine order. You trust in the divine. You trust that you're being guided with hope and optimism. You trust that whatever is going to unfold is going to be for your highest good. And you are this time around ready. So now, you're ready to take steps that will integrate the past energies and past learnings, past so-called mishaps, past so-called mistakes, past so-called dead ends, past so-called energies, and integrating them. Everything that you've experienced with the devil energy, you're wrapping it up under your robe, and you're taking that with you. You're taking that with you because now you have all these golden nuggets. You know exactly what this is. And so there is going to be a lot of opening up. I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to be a lot of opening of your spiritual gifts. Okay. This is a lot of spiritual downloads. 8 of Wands is directed spiritual energy because you are trusting the divine. Do you see this amethyst here? You're bringing that lesson in. And with this lesson in, this is what the 8 of Wands is bringing in. More light, more guidance on the steps forward towards taking you towards leadership. What you're also pulling in, this can be, first let me tell you, for all of you, we got the 2 of Cups here. Okay, that's the 2 of Cups here. What you're bringing to you is going to be a self-love. Okay, recognizing the polarities and bringing self-love in. Perhaps in the past you've been very judgmental about yourself. Okay, you judge yourself harshly. You gave to others but not to yourself. And this time I begin the cycle with me. Self-love. Now, what you'll also be bringing in with leadership in the 2 of Cups and the 4 of Wands, let's start with the first thing for your workplace. You're definitely bringing in a partnership. It could be in business. It could be a business partner. It could be a job opportunity. It could be an upgrade in a job, but something in your workplace which is going to be very aligned, very heartfelt. There's an equal measure of give and take. Perhaps in the past, you felt very lonely, abandoned, and kind of isolated from, people understanding. So it's been a different cycle. Now in this cycle, there is an alignment. There is people, there is understanding, there's growth, and there's community. And so there's definitely one particular community, one particular workplace, one particular business opportunity that comes to you that's going to be very, very close to your heart. It's something what your heart has always desired. And of course, I'm not going to ignore the big message. That is a love partner to you, a soulmate to you. You're beginning the cycle of, I'm ending the old parts, the old cycle of lack and loss in relationships, and I'm stepping into the cycle of aligned partner, a soulmate. Okay, with this 4 of Wands, let's talk about work here. Okay, with the 4 of Wands and the leadership here, with you taking this empowerment, you taking this approach to life where you're looking at every time you kind of slide down and you pick yourself up, you learn pick up these golden nuggets. Okay, you're picking up these golden nuggets of wisdom and you keep growing. So I see that there's a lot of stability. That what you're bringing in, what you're pulling in this new cycle is 4 of Wands. This is a very stable environment. So you're definitely pulling in stability to you. You're pulling in something where you're going to be very, very happy. Do you see this Four of Wands here? There's a lot of celebration, happiness. You know, we built this structure together with this person, okay? It could be that company, it could be the job, it could be a new business venture. You built like solidity with another person. It was made with love. Now, in a love partnership, you come together, someone proposes to you, and, you know, you say, okay, we're going to get married or we're going to be together. And then, you know, you get a home together, something, right? So stability coming in. So I see that here in a new cycle. I also see in this new cycle that anytime you feel like confounded by which direction should I take, in the past, perhaps you would have the tendency to kind of just not make a decision. That's a decision. Like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to deal with it. No, I don't want to do with it. Now, what you do is you intuit. You go inward. You don't go from the mind. You just say, I'm going to take a break from that. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to listen to my heart. I'm going to wait for this guidance. I'm going to listen to my inner call and my inner guidance. So in this case, the big energy difference is that you're not listening from the mind, but you're listening to your intuition, okay? The spiritual guidance that you get in. The spiritual guidance because of this purity of the spirit that's speaking in. So that's a new cycle. That's a new way of being. Initially, maybe you would have come from a place of mind. Maybe you would have been more analytical about something. Maybe you would be more aggressive. Maybe you would want to have the last word. Maybe you wanted to have, wanted to always speak up and say. Now, you're going to come from a place of understanding. You're coming from a place of love. You're coming from a place of gentleness. Okay, because you're not empowered by power over other. There's a self-empowerment cycle that's beginning. Now, this is the last, meaning this was the last card, so I wanted to talk about it because it's a very specific message. Some of you, I feel, have a very strong connection to animals. Okay, you may know it, you may not know it. You may feel and know that animals are drawn to you. Perhaps some of you will be working with animals which you had not done before. Okay, that may be a new cycle. Because it says here you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Okay, so with this also I'm seeing the birds and there's an intuitive guidance. So trust your inner guidance as the animals are part of your life's work. Okay, so a general message for everybody is going to be listening in. I do feel that you have strong animal spirit guides that you may be getting in your dream space, that you may just have an intuitive knowing about. So call upon your animal spirit guides in times of confusion, in times of need. They're going to be guiding you onto what is the next step and what is the next step. Okay, so final message on what this new cycle is going to bring about. I have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck with the Emperor at the behind that, with the 9 of Pentacles behind that. So this new cycle is eventually going to bring in this place of abundance, where you have the wealth for yourself, where you honor yourself, where you appreciate all the beauty in the world, and you have enough for yourself. This is again a leadership position, right? What you're pulling in is that leadership cycle. And you're also pulling in that love. Remember that 2 of Cups? Something that gives you, with all these rainbows, a person, a partner, a company, something that's very emotionally fulfilling. So emotional fulfillment, financial independence, and strength and security with power and status. This time around in this cycle, this is very balanced because your key energy is that of Saturn. Saturn is not going to let you have power if it is going to be aggressive. Saturn is not going to let you grow if this is going to be impacting and harming another. So you understood the value for Saturn. You understand the value that Saturn energy brings. You're bringing in a lot more moderation. You're bringing in a lot of harmony within the self. And because you bring in a lot of harmony and balance within the self, all that you had ever dreamed and hoped, but perhaps had forgotten that you would ever get through, is coming through for you. This is coming for you in this new cycle. Wow, what beautiful energies. I thank you all for tuning in. May these blessings unfold in the most beautiful and divine timing. May they assist the planet in bringing about love, light, happiness, and positive structures. If you'd like a personal reading with me, you can reach out to me. If you're interested in beginning manifestation courses, I'm going to be starting a workshop in February. February 20th, I think, is my plan, my birthday month, to offer a 2-hour workshop. I live in Southern California. I'm going to set the time and have that collateral up. And after that, I'm going to begin the manifestation through the chakras, where you kind of understand your energy centers and how you can strengthen. And as you strengthen each of these energy centers, these are all your centers for empowerment, all your centers for attracting and magnetizing rather than chasing, right? You're starting a new cycle. Leadership, we're not chasing anything. They come. Everything gets magnetized to you. So learning that aspect, or learning to understand yourself. You won't be learning that, oh, this is what I should do and that's what will happen. These will be all learning lessons for you to understand all these chakras and how a blockage and an open chakra, what is the difference, and what you can see what it does. And when it's feeling in imbalance, you'll know that this is a chakra that needs work, and these are some of the things that I as a soul can learn to implement and grow. If you're interested in those, I always offer those about once a year or twice a year for the last few years, and they run like 8 weeks, 2 hours each. Sometimes they go 2.5 hours, but I'll try to keep them with 2. And those I think are wonderful, because they've helped me and they've helped so many others. So I wanted to kind of tell you that as well and announce that out. If you are interested in it, reach out to me. So that's what we have. You take care, stay blessed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.